Today, we're here in the food prep basement at the Ed Center complex to retrieve some tents and cots set up for campers. I'm Nick, former Blackhawk commissioner.
I'm Aaron, former Wolverine commissioner.
And I'm Dan, former Blackhawk commissioner. Yeah, you know, all you scouts and scouters out there, you come up to camp for a week, you get yourself a site, you get a beautiful, beautiful green Owassapee wall tent and your beautiful cots inside, and we have to set those up every single Saturday.
So follow along as we can show you how a Saturday changeover kind of looks like.
Really go outside.
It's kind of dark down here. Guys, can we turn the lights on?
Your eyes will adjust.
The camera won't.
I can feel the rolls and know which tents are ours.
Tents! We got all kinds of tents. Tents for Blackhawk, tents for Wolverine, tents for other camps.
Over here, we've got some canopies, aka rain flies.
And when you come back this way, you're gonna find all these piles of neatly folded and beautiful, beautiful cots.
That's a lot of cots.
One or two.
These are the stakes that go in the ground to hold the tents. And this is a beater. Note, it is not a bowling pin. It is kind of like a hammer, I guess, and used to beat the stakes into the ground. Here, we've got a bunch of lumber. We got some uprights, and we've also got some ridge poles. And if you ever see green canvas set up around camp that isn't a tent, it's probably held up with these guys.
You also see we got our measuring stick here. We like to come down once a week and see how tall we're growing. You can see today, I am 6 feet tall.
Man, you're down a couple inches.
Today, we need 6 tents and 4 cots.
So let's get on going. I'm going to grab me some tents, and I'm going to load on up here. Nick, help me out a bit. Come on, Nick, I can take more. I can do it.
Soft me those cots, Dan.
So we're loading up the stake bed to transport it on down to the sub camps for changeover.
Here we are, site 1718.
Man, I love my job. Working here at Wolverine, best thing I've ever done in my life.
Let's go!
Changeover can get a little hectic. It's sometimes good to relax and take a nice long leisurely walk with your tent. So it looks like you're important because you're carrying a tent, but sometimes it can be a little stressful to work in a changeover setting.
Now that we're here and ready to get started, first thing we got to undo is unstack these bad boys. And, well, usually I would just unstack them by myself. I have some help with me today, so Nick and Aaron here are going to help me. So, ready, guys?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
The key to moving floorboards is communicating. Number 1 step here.
Words are hard, but so are actions. 3, 2, 1.
Now, most people don't know this, but we use a very special knot here in Owassapee on these tents. You see this bad boy here? If I just pull it, it comes right undone. We can get our tent set up. So we're getting our tent open here. We're gonna get our uprights into the ridge pole. And once we got that, I'm ready. Nick, how are you?
Yep.
Okay, Nick, 1, 2, 3. You're going in? Okay. Nick here said he's got the tent. He told me that. Now Aaron and I are going to go around and stake this thing down.
Oh, it's pretty sweaty in here. That's about it. Aaron, let's see some enthusiasm.
It's changeover. It's hard to show enthusiasm. A lot of these tents have all these different types of knots and stuff. So you always got to figure out exactly what you're working with. These ones have the nice little wooden stop gaps that are very useful to use. But normally, you just kind of have to tie it taut. You want to go exactly 45 degrees out. This ground's pretty hard, so I'm just going to immediately use a beater. Use it just like a hammer, but this way you won't hit your hands. Goes right in. Feel it nice and loose. You can even tighten it if you like.
Nick, come on out and join us.
Oh hey, didn't see you there.
All right, 1 tent down, 600 to go.
And with those 600 tents, we're gonna need about 1,200 cots. Here you can see your average, wood-legged cot. It's got the same magical knot on it. You can just undo. Ooh. Pro tip, if you're having trouble squeezing that last little bit out of the cot end, you can take another cot end out of your buddy's cot, put it through here, and stretch it over the end.
You guys can go ahead and get finished.
One of the things that just happened to have come about throughout staff is that a lot of people like to dress up for changeover. They see it as some sort of event.
You see, when people play football, they wear shoulder pads, right? When you play basketball, you wear your basketball shoes. And when you do changeover, you have to wear the proper uniform. As you can see, that uniform is what we like to call the grubby. And what it allows is the proper movement and flex to properly set up your cot or your tent.
Not only do we put the equipment up, we also take it down.
I got inside.
Ready, Aaron? Ready? Dan, go at the back.
Woo. Okay, Nick, that way, that way. 1, 2, 3. So we fold in and in. And we're gonna straighten out our corners a bit here. The last thing we do is make sure all of our ropes are tucked in nicely. Now Aaron's gonna go ahead and roll it.
What? The key to a perfect roll. You need all the things to make a triangle. Once you hit a triangle, you slowly roll. I like to pull it towards myself a little bit, but the cameraman is standing on top.
Perfect tent is what we like to call a money roll. It resembles money rolled up nice and tight because it's square on the edges and there's nothing sticking out.
Hey, Aaron, wanna grab that cot?
Just set them in, fold her over, fold her over. That way it's gonna hold our cots in nicely. We roll one side up. Fold that in. And we're gonna roll up our other side. Fold that down. And Nick here's gonna give me a hand by tying this up. Well, thanks for joining in today. This was just a little peek of the things you don't get to see at camp. Goodbye.